Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming back for another episode. We are on Coldborough Park Farm, and let's see, this is episode number 16. Lucky 16. All right, so we are down at the shop, and I wanted to start this episode off here. This is obviously midsummer. It's our second game day. This is the first video for this particular game day, and obviously we're going to do some harvesting. But I wanted to start this episode off at the shop because I wanted to show you this feature of the Seasons mod. Now, for some reason or another, I couldn't get this to work in the shop itself up at the main farm. But if you park your tractor here in the area where you would normally sell or customize the vehicle, so if we were to actually go over here and come up to this icon and hit R, we could customize it, or we could sell our JCB, or whatever the case might be. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that either. So we need to walk back over to the JCB, and as we approach it, we'll see left Alt R to maintain the JCB Fast Track 8000 for $128. So we're going to do left Alt R, and we're going to perform maintenance on this tractor. And if we get in it and pull up our F1 menu, we will see down at the bottom that we have 30 engine hours or 6 days until maintenance is required. So before we actually did that, we had like 2 days left on the maintenance, or about 12 hours or so. And so because I am obviously sort of testing the mod and reporting back any sort of issues that we find. And by the way, the version of this particular Seasons mod is probably, I think, about 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks old, since those of us who are actively doing YouTube videos, have basically created since they've released a updated version of the mod for us. So, all right. I just needed to check my audio levels and such because it seemed like it was a little bit loud, but everything looks to be set appropriately. And if it, for whatever reason, if it is loud, then I'll have to make some changes on the fly. But obviously, this is let's see, this is obviously Farm Sim 17. This is with the 1.4 patch, and this is this the first video I've done with the patch? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I can't remember, to be quite honest with you. But you know, I think this is the second video I've made, but I believe it's the first video that I've made on Coldborough Park Farm. I believe the episode that you watched on Saturday of Lawfolds was actually with 1.4, and I did not notice any problems on that particular map. So hopefully the same will be applied here. There won't be any problems here as well. So we're obviously going to hook up to our header, and we're going to haul this down to our field that we're going to be harvesting today. And I believe it is a wheat or it's a barley field, and it is located just down, kind of across from the dairy farm. I think it's maybe. We'll pull up the main menu. Field number 1, yeah, lucky number 1. So we'll take our header down there. Hopefully it won't fall off this modded trailer, and head down there. So I was half expecting that there would be an update to the update by now. Clearly there are some issues, some troubling issues with Farm Sim 17 after the 1.4 patch was released and applied for many folks' games. All sorts of things, AI workers having problems detecting field boundaries, I think, and just, like I said, just kind of a whole host of things. And this header doesn't look like it's on the trailer very well, but it's, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I do appreciate you coming back for another episode. And pull in here. I've gone ahead and opened up the gate, and we will pull in. We're going to lose a little bit of crop as a result of this. It's really nothing that we can avoid because we are playing with crop destruction, just because, well, that's kind of the best thing to do. But as a result, we're going to lose just a small amount of crop. And that should do it. So we will jump out and go around and get in our combine and hook up to our header. Now, in addition to the 1.4 update, Windows 10, I've also pushed out a update that I had been avoiding for a couple of days, and finally it was one of those that just became mandatory, and I took it, and it took some time to get it applied, and some really weird things I have noticed. Nothing really related to the game, to FarmSim 17 so much, but just kind of some quirky stuff with my my monitors for one, which was kind of weird. Come on, come on. Alright, we will park that there. That's gonna be a little bit of an awkward spot, but I think we'll be able to address that momentarily. And let's go ahead and unfold and pull up our, we want to enable the straw swath because I kind of thought that we would go ahead and actually do the straw on this field, since we have less distance to actually carry the bales to the dairy farm. So that's kind of smart. All right, and we're off. So we'll do a headland. What we'll probably end up having to do, I also on this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about an issue with the AI vehicle extension mod, or what I by habit referred to as auto combine. There is a small, well, I won't say small, it's actually a large problem with the AI vehicle extension mod, in the sense that the developer that took the project over, so you might remember in FarmSim 15 we had two different mods. One was auto combine and one was auto tractor. And these two mods, most people that I know loved the heck out of auto combine, and it worked quite well, but had sort of a love-hate relationship with auto tractor, and many of us that tried to use auto tractor more or less gave up on it and just said, you know something, for all the tractor work that we need to do on our virtual farms, we will just use Courseplay. And or just use the default AI, and that would suffice for us. And for me, that's exactly what my philosophy was. I completely removed auto tractor from my mods in FarmSim 15 and never even gave it a second look. With FarmSim 17, let me lift the header up and try to be a little bit more realistic here. With FarmSim 17, the developer that took over for the mods basically combined the two together into one and referred to it as AI Vehicle Extension Mod. More or less, the auto tractor portion of the mod is still a bit flaky. And to me, because I already sort of had issues with it in FarmSim 15, I really didn't use it. I didn't depend on it like I did with auto combine. It was really a no-brainer for me. I just sort of said, okay, not a big deal. I didn't use it in 15. I'm not going to use it, so therefore I'm not going to miss it in 17. Well, so I've been following the progress of this mod. As you know, I did a 5-minute mod review on the AI vehicle extension mod on my channel several weeks ago, and I've been following its progress, and I've been taking the updates, and the updates have been coming along very, very nicely. Many of us reported issues with frame rate drops when the combine would turn around. All those got sorted out, and it was really starting to come together. I was really starting to have a lot less problems with AI, with the auto combine function of it, than I had initially when I first started using the AI vehicle extension mod. Well, when Giants released the 1.4 update just a few days ago, something within the functionality of how the 1.4 update was put into the game and what the end result of that was, and I'll be open and honest with you and just tell you that I don't understand all of that behind that. But basically, the mod developer, who goes by the handle Mowgli, M-O-G-L-I 12, basically, I think, threw his hands up in the air and said he was done. So what I want to do just here, and again, I want to just sort of test and see if, for whatever reason, if this thing will work for a little while, because I've not had a chance to use it. So we're going to go circle mode for a little bit. We're going to go active side left because I believe that's our active side, and then we will go ahead and turn him on and see what he will do while we just sort of jump out. And we need to basically, so that we don't break immersion, because we need to basically take our tractor here and we need to go up and grab our tipper. So we'll drop that there and try to remember to get in the right gear. And let me get square with my tractor here. And we'll go back to the main farm and grab the tipper, and hopefully the combine will continue to function. So I updated this version of the AI vehicle extension mod is the latest and greatest version that was available prior to the 1.4 update. So it's, at least it initiated and started the combine off down the path there. So we'll see what happens when we get back around to him momentarily. But the reason why I bring this up and the reason why I mention it to you is because I know a number of you follow, because I will frequently update and let you know that, hey, I've taken an update on Courseplay, or I've taken an update on the AI vehicle extension mod. And I just wanted to let you know that, we may find ourselves without a functional auto combine mod because well, Mowgli is just sort of given up, because something in the way that Giants changed something with 1.4, I think, has just really frustrated him, because I think we all knew that there was some structural differences between 15 and 17 with regards to how the whole AI vehicle interactivity took place. And that was one of the reasons why it has been taking a little bit longer to get Courseplay sort of back where it needs to be, although it's making wonderful progress as well. And I've actually not used it since 1.4 has come out, but the app or the mod does launch and everything looks good there. Getting a bit of a frame rate hit. Wonder what's going on. Maybe he's turning. Okay, well, he's coming around there, so let's just check my frames. 60 FPS, so that's looking good. He's kind of bouncing around. Is he back into the crop there? And we'll see what happens. Now, you all know, because I've told you that, the regular hire worker within FS17, as well as the auto combine function of the AI vehicle extension mod, did have some issues with those crop lines. You know, those crop lines. Now the crop lines are not visible because we have our growth stage is at least at harvestable. It's at 66% because we're harvesting just a tad early, but that's okay because we need to get these crops in. But yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, I don't know what if he's gonna be able to finish the entire thing, and I don't know about these frame rate drops that's going on. That's a little bit odd. Sorry I'm quiet. I'm just kind of watching to see what he's doing, and he looks okay there. We'll get back in and go ahead and just and take over for him because we can. So I don't know about the frame rate drops. That could still be some residual problems with the Windows 10 update. It could also be with regards to the AI vehicle extension mod. It could be a number of things. I will keep an eye on that and see if I can, verify that everything is more or less fine and that it's not Windows 10 that's causing any problems, or display drivers, things of that nature. It could also be that whatever has changed with the 1.4 patch has caused that frame rate issue to kind of return when the combine would make its turn. We will just have to kind of keep an eye on it and see, but I will be following progress on the GitHub website. I'm hopeful that Mowgli will continue. I know several people had chimed in and left comments of encouragement, as well as suggesting that he reach out to one or two of the Giants folks and see if they can assist, because I think, from what I know about Giants, especially the way that they worked with Courseplay, the Courseplay developers, how they reached out to them before FarmSim 17 came out and asked them to come out to their location and work with them, allow them to sort of collaborate together on getting Courseplay ready, because I think Giants fully understands, and I think they appreciate the fact that the user community, their customers, those of us who purchase and support them through purchasing FarmSim 17, want, and I would also go so far as to say need these mods because of the way that we play the game. We all play the game a bit differently. Those of us that are creating YouTube content, we need a steady and reliable AI system, whether it be Auto Combine, whether it be Courseplay, or something else, whatever is maybe out there that could be coming down the pipeline. We need a reliable system, because we're wanting to tell stories. You guys are wanting to watch videos of us telling stories along the lines of farming, and we know with real life experiences, whether it's personal experiences or just watching real farm video, real farming videos on YouTube, or just driving down the street and watching, our neighbors plow or whatever, or harvest or whatever, that it's more than just one person. It's a team of individuals. I mean, in all realistic aspects here, what we're doing right now would have at least one more hired employee driving the tractor and the tipper, and we want to be able to do that. We want to be able to automate our farms, either a little bit or even an entire operation, and we want to be able to do that reliably, and we need those tools. And the tools that help us do that are the auto combines and the course plays and those kind of things. And so I will continue to follow the progress of that, and I will mention that from time to time. From what I could tell, it seems to be still working. Again, just whether or not the FPS issues are because of the changes that have been put in with the 1.4 patch, I don't know. I have heard sort of through the Giants forums that Giants have been looking at the issues, obviously, that have been caused or created with the 1.4 patch, and they are working on addressing those. So I would assume that at some point, hopefully in the near future, a 1.4 something patch will come out that we will get pushed out to our games, that may sort of remedy and correct the problems. I was a little bit, because of the Windows 10 update issue that I had, it caused a really weird issue with the way that OBS, which I use to record my gameplay, the way that it was capturing the screen. You might remember, and especially for those of you that record your gameplay, that when FarmSim 17 first came out, we had to do monitor capture because game capture wouldn't work. Game capture works in FarmSim 15, it works in ATS, ETS2, pretty much all the games that I tend to play from time to time. Game capture works just fine, and that's a awesome way of capturing the gameplay, because we don't have to worry about any other taskbars or things getting in the way. Well, you may know from watching my videos that even though FarmSim 17 did not, when it first came out, it didn't allow us to use game capture, that I didn't have an issue with the taskbars getting in the way and stuff like that. Well, after this Windows 10 update that I just took, I was having that issue, and I thought, oh well, surely Giants has fixed the issue with game capture, and so, but surely they haven't, because I went in to try to reconfigure OBS to do game capture, and it still doesn't work. And I'm just a little bit, I find that just a little bit odd, because you would think, as I grab me a screenshot here, you would think that by now they would have addressed that, but maybe that's not high on their priority list. I don't know. And by the way, if any of my friends that are doing YouTube videos, if any of you guys know for a fact that they fixed it, then maybe I was just in my haste, I didn't set something correctly. So if you know for a fact that game capture is now working for FarmSim 17, drop me a note in the comments section, and I will take a look at that again and see if maybe I was just getting a tad bit frustrated and just sort of gave up on getting it set up correctly. All right, well, not a huge yield on this field, obviously, but to be quite honest with you, we of course knew that would be the case, because we are harvesting this field at 66% of its, I guess, readiness state, if that's a term to use. So clearly we sort of knew that we were going to not be getting as good of a yield on this field as we could, should, or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to head back and get in our JCB that sounds like we left running, burning fuel. Oh, and by the way, the milk sold at midnight, and we got 199,000 pounds for that, for the sale of that milk. And because I had taken out a loan to buy the manure spreader and something else, I went ahead and paid that loan off. So we have no loan now, and we have 43,000 pounds in the bank. So I thought that was the best thing to do about that, and so that's what we did. All right, well, I will continue to sort of stay in touch with the Giants forum, with AI Vehicle Extension mod on the GitHub, and anything that I can sort of learn through information, I will pass along to all of you, because I know many of you are using the AI Vehicle Extension mod. I know some of you have reached out to me through either PCSG or the Three Dudes Gaming Network forums, and have asked about that. And so my plan for right now is to, as I'm recording this, it's Friday the 10th of February. You guys are going to watch this on Monday the 13th. I'm going to take a wait and see approach for right now before I do any sort of announcement or anything like that on my channel, as far as trying to update the video that I did for the AI Vehicle Extension mod. And I am doing a terrible job backing up here. So just kind of do a wait and see approach to that. And then if something, if something pops, if information breaks, and maybe if Mowgli reconsiders, or if the update to the 1.4 update does anything and fixes anything, and maybe if Mowgli decides that, well, he's not going to give up on developing the mod, then, maybe there won't be anything to have to necessarily say. I would say that if Mowgli does decide to give it up, then obviously I will most likely post a note to that video. No more capacity for wheat. Really? Do we have? Oh, okay. Well, we've got a lot of wheat, because remember, okay, well, then I guess we're going to actually sell some wheat. So, I tell you what, we'll just back up here. We'll go ahead and fill that up with wheat. We're not under there too square, but that's fine. And let's see who has the best price for wheat. The Wednesday stores. All right, we'll go down to the Wednesday stores and sell this, and then call this episode a wrap, because I've really been rambling in this episode, but I've wanted to share with you this information so that you would all know. And by the way, now you know that Coldborough Park Farm has a max capacity of 100,000 liters per grain type. So keep that in mind as you start stockpiling your grain, that you can only hold 100,000 liters. Now I believe hopefully in the next few days, we will have an update to the Seasons mod. It's been a couple of weeks, as I may have already pointed out at the beginning of this episode. They are the type of they're a bit aggressive in their modding style, and I appreciate this. And what I mean by aggressive is that they're really pushing the limits of the mod, and I think that they find success in actually breaking it and then fixing it and then testing it again, and if it doesn't break, then success, and then they move on to something else. Because let's all face it, we want a reliable mod. We want something that is as good as, Courseplay was for 15, or the soil mod was for 15, etc. And I think that they have a level of dedication that thoroughly impresses me. And yeah, they basically somewhat pride themselves on the fact that they push the mod and they try to break it. They learn from that experience, and that's only going to make it much better for all of us that actually play it and want to take advantage of everything that it has to offer. So this is also a first for us. This is the first crop that we will sell on the map, and we'll just have to keep that in mind as we go ahead and harvest additional crop types over the next few episodes, because obviously we are in the harvest season. We're in midsummer, and so we've got a number of fields that we own, and we will be harvesting and also working on prepping the fields, and probably take a look at what we want to do with regards to a winter type crops. And it'll probably be like wheat or barley, and we'll need to think about when we want to plant those and which fields we want to utilize, etc. So this is going to wrap us up for this episode. For the next episode, we're going to go ahead and take care of that field, the field that we've just finished out of. I will off camera get the harvester out of there and do some of that tedious work like that. And then when we come back together again for the next episode, we will go ahead and bale that straw and probably get that straw picked up and stacked in our barn there at our dairy facility. And yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. And again, I will keep you all posted on what I learn with regards to the status of not only the 1.4 patch, but also the status of the AI vehicle extension mod. Because, I certainly hope that something gives, because I really would love for that mod to be as solid, as good as it was in Farm Sim 15 for our wonderful Farm Sim 17. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you watching each and every time. And of course, I will be announcing the winner of the giveaway, the 300 giveaway. I will be doing that drawing on Sunday. Of course, you're watching this on Monday, so I will have done that already. But I'll be announcing the video or the winner of that very shortly. So thank you all so much for watching again. Take care, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.